You know, Michael, I have to say that the defense is very effective in their line of questioning in twofold. Questioning, why didn't you do anything and call 911 if you thought that he was in bad shape? But also, what's your motive for testifying in the way that you're testifying, because you're also a victim of the Ponzi scheme?
Yeah, they're going after the witnesses and they're doing a great job. They have themes for their case, and their cross-examinations are sticking to those themes, which I think is a great way to go about it, because the jury can follow you. And if you have issues, they're going to keep pointing out those issues with every witness, which is what they're doing. Let's bring in our guest for this hour to discuss. National trial attorney Michael Jaafar watching along with you at home. Michael, what's your thoughts on that?
I think, listen, every single person has an innate superpower. Whether you're a lawyer, a doctor, a baker, you have an innate superpower. Some people don't even know what it is. This lawyer's superpower is not properly conveying his messages in front of a jury. I don't like how aggressive he is with this witness. This witness, at the end of the day, in my opinion, the jury's going to see her as a sympathetic witness. I agree with what he's trying to do. I agree with why he needs to do it. He absolutely needs to do every single thing he's doing. But I think he's coming off harsh, a little bit abrasive. At the end of the day, the juries are not robots. They're human beings. They're going to make a human being decision. And sometimes jurors, not sometimes, almost all the time, they'll side with the underdog. If they perceive a witness as being an underdog in a situation, because look, jurors hate lawyers. Everybody hates lawyers, right? They should hate lawyers. And so if you already hate a lawyer and then you have this sympathetic person and this person is clearly uncomfortable, and then you're going to sympathize. If you're a juror and you've ever lost money on any type of an investment, if you lost money into some sort of a collapse, you're going to sympathize with that person. I just don't like how aggressive he's being. Other than that, I like what he's doing. I like where he's going. This is an imminently winnable case. His client might be a monster. She might not be. At the end of the day, she deserves a fair trial. And so I just don't like when the body language of an attorney gets in the way of somebody getting an acquittal or not getting an acquittal. I just don't like it. It's just me. It's just something that I think is unnecessary. She interviewed this lawyer before she hired him. She knew that he was going to be this abrasive. So it's on her as well.
You know, and she is a monster, Michael. I mean, at the end of the day, she stole from her good friends. I just can't move away from that. Yeah. But that's the question. That's what I was going to say. The question is she also a killer? Someone who steals? It's not that far of a leap as far as I'm concerned, and in my experience, that they would kill. So there's that. But this is a circumstantial case, Michael. There's no smoking gun. You heard the question, was there a syringe found? No, nothing like that was found. So we have to look at her actions. What do you make of her actions, the defendant in this case, during this circumstance? The defense attorney raised a great point, albeit his tone might not have been the right one. He raised a great point. Why did she bring all these people or connect with these people, get them to the house, if what she was trying to do was kill him? It would have been much easier to do what she did and leave him there to die.
Yeah, again, that's why I say this is an imminently winnable case, and I feel like he's getting in the way. But in terms of the circumstantiality of the evidence, I think that she clearly, this is reasonable doubt, by the way. This is my opinion. This is absolutely reasonable doubt. Because at the end of the day, like, he had the steroid use, he had his own medical issues, and she brought people to the house. She brought attention to herself. But sometimes a juror might say, hey, she was hiding in plain sight. There's so much more evidence that I want to see as a viewer, and I'm really looking forward to the defense putting on their case. But what really is going to stick with the jury is the fact that he died before she was indicted for fraud. That is a line of demarcation in the minds of the jury. And so every single witness they see, every single question they see by any attorney, and the closing arguments are going to be key. Everything is going to be based on that line of demarcation. He died, and then her Ponzi scheme was uncovered. Did he know about it? Did he not know about it? If he didn't know about it, he might have been one of the victims. She might have hoodwinked him as well. But the jury have to not hate her too much. I already hate this woman, right? I think every juror is going to hate this woman. But do you hate her enough to think that she even murdered her sickly husband because she thought, no one's going to notice? I'm a trained licensed pharmacist. No one's going to know. That's really what it comes down to. But in terms of her actions and all of that, man, I can't wait to see how this thing ends.
Well, two things here, you know, before we have to go to a break. But she had access to other drugs. Why would she have used this? She would have been able to use something less detected. And number two, Michael Jaafar, not everyone hates attorneys.
It's true. I was a little taken aback by that comment, Michael. All right,
if
Michael.
I ever get indicted for stealing a rock from the moon, I'll take a plea.
Michael, by the way, what is your superpower? You said we all have.
Yes.
My superpower is making very sarcastic, stupid jokes. That's what my wife will tell you.
Fair enough, Michael. Stand by. We have to take a break here. When we come back, we're going to hear from a friend of the Cochrans who testifies about concerns over Michael's health. Let's bring back in our guest. National Trial Attorney Michael Jaafar is still with us. Michael, one thing I like about what this attorney is doing is through every single witness, he makes sure to sort of check the boxes about what the situation was with this victim, right? So every time someone takes the stand, he asks them about the problems that this guy had, just reminding them this guy wasn't always healthy.
Yeah, I mean, he has to do that, and he's doing an excellent job at that. My only problem with him, obviously, is the abrasiveness with when he's cross-examining sympathetic witnesses. But he's doing exactly what he needs to do. And at the end of the day, it's going to come down to a culmination for the jury to decide whether or not she did this, right? I also have my own little theory, which is that I think the jury's going to find motive no matter what, even if they believe that he was part of the conspiracy, part of the Ponzi scheme or not. And the reason I think that is because if he was not part of the Ponzi scheme, then you clearly have motive. If he was part of the Ponzi scheme, think about it. His own family members were victims in the Ponzi scheme. She might have thought to herself in her delusional mind that by killing him, she would delay the inevitable result of people finding out that she did it, or maybe even she could just blame it on him. But at the end of the day, yes, Michael, his sickness, all of this stuff could have been an opportunity for her if she killed him, or it could have just been the reason why he died. We know that he had to be exhumed. We know that this is obviously not a clear-cut case of your actions caused him to die. He had the mass on his brain. He was very fit, and I think the jury is also going to know, look, he was very fit. I just learned that he was part of that competition that he won, but then he died in his 30s. So the whole thing is just a bizarre type of situation where the jury, we're going to ask a lot of them at the end of this case, would you look at all the evidence, the insulin, this and that, do you think that she killed him? None of us are equipped to make that decision, let alone a bunch of lay people. I sympathize for them, so we'll see what happens.
And yes or no, since we're running out of time, do you think that she's going to testify?
That's a tough one. Whenever I come on your show, guys, you guys make me think a lot, and it hurts me to think this hard. That's a great question. I don't think she can. I think she has too many pop marks. I don't think she can testify. At the end of the day, if you're looking for reasonable doubt, I don't think there's going to be an issue finding it. Putting her on has way too much risk. I don't know if the juice is worth the squeeze.
Yeah.
Michael Jaafar, thanks for joining us today.
All right, Michael, we'll see you again soon. Folks, stick around.